Welcome all to PLUTUS IS. Today I'm going to discuss about the Himachal Pradesh state specific parts. For example, I'll be discussing about the geography of Himachal Pradesh. If you have already covered your geography, in particular the physiographic divisions of India, then it will be very easy for you to understand this particular topic. So first I would be discussing about the how Himachal has been placed. So we also call Himachal as the snow, as land of snow mountains. As you know, it is in the upper latitudes of India, right? And then we can divide the physiography of Himachal into four parts. Physiographic division of Himachal. It can be done into various parts. For example, you can do it in outer Himalayas, which you also call it as lower hills, lesser Himalayas, you call it as inner hills, greater Himalayas, and then Trans-Himalayas. So if I talk about the outer Himalayas, so in outer Himalayas, how they have been formed, these are the most youngest in the formation. If you see, out of all of them, this is the youngest. These are the youngest, and hence the structure of them, or I would say the height of the mountains, is also low. Reason, because they have been recently formed. This particular layer has been recently formed, and hence the height of it would be lower as compared to the other ranges. So the ranges could lie between 300 meter to 1500 meter. Ranges could lie between 1500 meter to 300 meter to 1500 meter, and here you would have the some parts of the outer Himalayas will be present in the Himachal Pradesh. Now if I talk about the lesser Himalayas, these are also called as the inner hills. Here you have two ranges, very prominent one, Pir Panjal and Dhauladhar range. Very prominent tourist places are present in the Pir Panjal and Dhauladhar range. For example, your Mussoorie is present, your Shimla, Dharamshala, all of these are present in the lesser Himalayas. With respect to the tourist places also, it can be asked in the prelims not many times when you are understanding the ranges. Then the direct question can come that this particular tourist place is lying in which range. So if I tell you roughly how this Pir Panjal ranges are placed. So first you can see the Pir Panjal range is starting from here, and then you have Dhauladhar range, right? So Pir Panjal is also covering, so I'm just talking about Pir Panjal right now. So it is also covering the Kashmir, right? Jammu and Kashmir, and then Himachal also. Okay, so this is what you have to understand in this. Next is your ranges. We have already talked about, for example, lesser Himalayas. I have talked that there are two ranges which are very prominent in this. And with respect to the tourist places, you can remember that Dharamshala, Mussoorie, Shimla, these are important places, right? Next, we can talk about the dunes, right? So next we are going to talk about the Great Himalayas. So if I talk about Great Himalayas, then let's talk about its range first. So the range varies from 5,000 to 7,000 meter. It forms the easternmost boundary of, it forms the easternmost boundary of Himachal Pradesh. Next, it is very important that this range in particular, it separates the Lahaul-Spiti basin, Lahaul-Spiti drainage basin from Beas River. Right, about the next range that we are having is Trans-Himalayas. In particular, if you have to understand Trans-Himalayas particularly, just understand this thing, that Trans-Himalayas are divided into three parts. The first is, okay, next we are moving on to the Trans-Himalayas. If you have to understand the Trans-Himalayas, you need to know that Trans-Himalayas are divided into three ranges. The first one is your Karakoram range. The second range is Ladakh, and third is Jhanskar. So if I talk about the range which is important for Himachal Pradesh is Jhanskar range, as the Jhanskar range is forming the eastern boundary. It's forming the boundary on the eastern side of Himachal Pradesh. So hence you can see that all the ranges of the mountain are present, and the average peak of it would go from 4,000 meter to 5,000 meter here in this range. So ranges of mountain all are present in Himachal Pradesh. Now if I have to talk about the particular place which is suitable for the cultivation, so in this zone in the Himalayas, particularly valleys are suitable for the cultivation. If you would see that all the valleys, all the places, prominent places which are there, they are located in the valleys and they are apt for the production. That's all with respect to the geography of Himachal Pradesh. I'll come with the next topic next video. Thank you.